Chapter 6, Apostasy. Question 39. What does a ridda, apostasy, refer to? What is the related proof? A ridda is for one to disbelieve after having already been Muslim. The related proof is in the statement of God the Exalted. وَمَنْ يَرْتَدِدْ مِنْكُمْ عَنْ دِينِهِ فَيَمُتْ وَهُوَ كَافِرٌ فَأُولَٰئِكَ حَبِطَتْ أَعْمَالُهُمْ فِي الدُّنْيَا وَالْآخِرَةِ وَأُولَٰئِكَ أَصْحَابُ النَّارِ هُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. And whoever amongst you apostates from his religion and dies as a disbeliever, those are the ones whose efforts and actions will be rendered ultimately fruitless in this life and in the hereafter. They are the rightful inhabitants of hell, in which they will dwell eternally. The Quran, chapter Al-Baqarah, verse 217. Question 40. What are the categories of a ridda, apostasy? A ridda consists of 5 categories. Number 1, apostasy by way of speech. Number 2, apostasy by way of deeds. Number 3, apostasy by way of belief. Number 4, apostasy by way of doubt. Number 5, apostasy by way of abandonment of a necessary aspect of Islam. Question 41. What are some examples of apostasy by way of speech? Apostasy by way of speech occurs if a Muslim does one of the following. Number 1, reviling God, the Exalted, or His Messenger. Peace and special blessings be upon him. Number 2, mocking the noble Quran, or the authentic Sunnah, or any of the foremost, most manifest aspects of Islam. Number 3, claiming to have knowledge of the unseen. Number 4, claiming prophecy. Number 5, calling on other than God to do that which only God is able to. Question 42. What are some examples of apostasy by way of deeds? Apostasy by way of deeds occurs if a Muslim does one of the following. Number 1, prostration to other than God, such as to an idol or to a grave. Number 2, sacrificial slaughtering for jinn in hopes of their support or due to fear of them, or sacrificial slaughtering for the dead in order to draw near to them. Number 3, intentionally putting the Quran in a place of filth to revile it. Number 4, practicing magic, learning it and teaching it. Question 43. What are some examples of apostasy by way of belief? Apostasy by way of belief occurs if a Muslim does one of the following. Number 1, believing that God has a partner in divinity. Number 2, believing that there is no resurrection after death, or that there is no heaven or hell. Number 3, proclaiming the legality of something which God has prohibited, such as holding that adultery, fornication, or intoxicants are legal, or by holding that overruling the divine rules which God has sent down is permissible and correct action. Number 4, rejecting the pillars or the requisite tenets of the religion, such as rejection of the Salah, mandatory prayers, Zakah, annual Islamic poor tax for supporting the poor and the needy, Som Ramadan, or fasting Ramadan, and Al-Hajj, the pilgrimage to Mecca. Question 44. What are some examples of apostasy by way of doubt? Apostasy by way of doubt occurs if a Muslim does one of the following. Number 1, doubting the resurrection after death, or the existence of heaven and hell. Number 2, doubting the religion of Islam or its correctness for this era. Number 3, doubting the message of the Prophet, peace and special blessings be upon him, or his truthfulness. Number 4, doubting the beneficent Quran, that it is the word of God, the Exalted. Question 45. What are some examples of apostasy by way of abandonment of a necessary aspect of Islam? Apostasy by way of abandonment occurs if a Muslim intentionally forsakes Salah, the obligatory prayers. This is evident in the statement of the Prophet, peace and special blessings be upon him. Indeed, that which is between a man or a woman and becoming a polytheist or disbeliever is abandoning Salah.